Welcome back to the channel, guys. This is Heinz here, and spoiler alert, I don't make it all the way up the mountain. So if you're looking for some tight shots, I didn't quite get there, but I figured, hey, this is good enough. And I also just kind of wanted to give some big thank yous because I have some new toys. As you can see, I have a microphone and a tripod. That's kind of what the my phone is set up on right now. So yeah, so I could do some of these I could do man on the street interviews, you know, and yeah. But just big shout out to my guy Tavita, and thank you for laying it to you guys. Man, you guys rock. Funny story. It actually, when I went to go pick these up from the airport, because apparently you can't send things through the mail and from American Samoa to Samoa, so you have to send it on the plane. Anyways, uh, funny story. The It got delivered on the plane, but then when I went to the airport to pick it up, the pilot or somebody it ended up going back, so I had to wait at the airport for the flight to come back again. Anyways, it all worked out because as you can see, I have the mic and the tripod set up. So yeah, yeah, this hike was hard. This is like the first time I've kind of gone outside of the house in a while, and I'm dying. So, but I hope you guys enjoy the video. I just got some shots. This is like my second vlog, and I just wanted to give shout outs though, real quick, just because I'm super thankful for those guys just helping my YouTube channel out. So, so yeah, hopefully you guys enjoy this video. Like I said, spoiler alert, I don't get all the way to the top. I figured the other reason why I'm here too, why I decided to set up here, there's shade and the sun is kind of aggressive right now. And yeah, so I figured, dude, I am not trying to do this just, when it's all out in, the sun. Like you can see the sun behind me. This shade right here is super clutch, but anyways, yeah, thank you guys for tuning in, and yeah, enjoy the vlog. Thank you. So I watched the vlog through and it was kind of boring. So I decided to do a voiceover because I really didn't want to at first, just because I'm kind of lazy like that. But I figured it kind of needs it just because there's just a lot of random that happens. So in these shots right here, we're driving towards Mount Vaea. Now, Mount Vaea is where Robert Louis Stevenson was buried, but the actual hike for the to go to his grave, and I think you could go this way that we're going, but it usually starts from the Robert Louis Stevenson Museum, and then you can hike up that in that general direction. But because of time, we are like where I stay is closer to where I got dropped off, which is right here. And this is actually the Mount Vaea service road. So I believe it probably goes up to the top. But as you saw in the title, I only get up a certain percentage of the way, and I don't really make it all the way to the top because I wasn't sure if this led to the top or led to the tombstone of Robert Louis Stevenson and all that good stuff. But I figured, man, I was already kind of like there in that area. So I said, why not give it a try? So I've looked for other videos that show the actual hike, and I realized that looks nothing like what the actual hike should look like. This is the service road hike out up Mount Vaea. And so if you are looking at this and maybe have done that hike before and you're like, this doesn't look familiar, that's why, because I'm basically going up the service road path, and so it just doesn't look like what a regular hike should look like. But nonetheless, I figured, yeah, why not go? And it was, it was a cool morning. I got dropped off at 8, and I saw that it probably takes like about an hour to go up to the top where the um it takes about an hour to get to the top of the mountain. And I told my ride to be back at around 10, so I gave myself a couple hours, like an hour to go up and an hour to come down. But yeah, around the hour mark, I was pretty much dying. Like, I'm doing okay here. The sun's not too hot right here. There's lots of shade. I don't know if you could see it or not, but there's it was cool. It was just like, man, it's early enough in the morning. The sun wasn't beaten down as crazily as it was, and it wasn't dumping raining either. So yeah, it was all right. The only problem was I haven't done a hike in probably a couple years, in like at least a year and a half, 2 years. So I was hurting pretty bad. And you could see it, I think, in the next shot where the camera is, I'm barely holding on to the camera and walking at the same time. And I think I needed to take a few breaks. So yeah, so this is, now I'm walking and I don't know if I'm going in the right area. And then when I see this house here on the left, I'm like, dude, this doesn't look like I'm going the right way. Like, usually on hikes, you don't see people's houses and stuff. So now I'm like even less confident that I'm going to the right direction, and I don't know what the top of this looks like. Look at me, like, carrying this camp. Now I could tell I'm pretty tired already at this point. So, but then I think I also noticed that we're pretty high up already, and so I try to get some nice aerial shots of town and stuff, and what's going on. But yeah, I mean, look, it was a beautiful day though. Don't get me wrong. And it was early enough in the morning where you could see the sun coming through there, but it wasn't that bad. And for us Washingtonians that are allergic to the humidity, the humidity wasn't, I mean, I was already sweating like crazy, regardless if it was humid or not. I was already pretty much, my shirt was pretty much soaked. So, and if you were able to hear my breathing through all of this, I was struggling. My breathing was struggling through all of this too, as I walked on this little hike. So what's crazy is, while I was walking on this hike, and I didn't get it because my phone was in my pocket and I was just walking. But on this hike, I ran into some dogs, like 3 dogs, but they were with somebody, but that somebody also had a rifle. And I was like, dude, I was thinking, dude, am I gonna get blasted right here for just trying to walk up this hike looks like that's not a real hike area where people should be hiking. So that's the other part where, when I saw that house, because I get it, people don't want you to run up on somebody's house, like in that's, people want to feel safe, so they don't like it when like random people are just walking right outside of their house. So yeah, that makes sense, and so those dogs were coming at me, and the guy with the rifle was just like, keep going. He was just like, go, and then I was like, okay, and then I just kept on, and yeah, the dogs finally left me alone. They were following me kind of far, and yeah, and my phone was in my pocket, so I was just kind of not thinking properly. So I was just thankful to just get away unbitten and still in one piece. So at that point, I just kind of kept going on and went with the trail. And the two things were, I didn't know if this was the right trail, so I'm still not understanding if I'm in the right place. I don't know where this leads to. I just kind of wanted to see if it came to at least a nice view at the top of the mountain. That's what I was kind of at least hoping for. And then I wanted to shoot my intro that you guys saw earlier. I wanted to shoot my intro at the top of the mountain. But as you guys can see, that didn't really happen. Or as I kind of alluded to, I don't make it all the way up the mountain. But I will give myself props for trying to do something, trying to do this little hike, because I haven't done a hike in so long. And so it was like, even in post-production, it's been a couple days and my legs are still super tight. So I should probably try stretching them out. But great views up here though, as you can see. And I am a little bit scared of heights too, but I was okay. There was just a couple areas that seemed kind of sketchy, where if it looks like, man, if I were to fall, then I don't know if anybody would ever find me, to be honest, just because of how randomly. That's a nice view of town right there. I'm glad I caught this. I wish I slowed down and panned a little bit slower, just to see a little bit more clearly the landscape. The best and beautiful, the lights dawn, a quiet afternoon, enjoying the night. But yeah, the incline was pretty tough. It was pretty steady and pretty tough. I wish those trees weren't in the way of that shot right there, because I think that was a pretty dope view. But yeah, and so like I said, I think the other thing that really messed me up walking up mentally was not knowing exactly how far I was from the top. Like, I just kept going up, and I didn't know if I was like another half an hour away from the top, or if I was 10 minutes away from the top. But I tried to take a few breaks. The other thing was, when I try to take a break, I try to find somewhere to sit. And I don't really want to sit on the ground, because it's hella hard just to get back up if you're sitting on the ground. I'm trying to look for like a rock or some trees that I could maybe sit on. And to be honest, I just really need something to lean on. I don't need to sit all the way down. I just need to just like rest up without sitting all the way on the ground, because getting back up is brutal too. So I didn't want to do that. But yeah, no, I found some spots where I was able to take a few breaks. So eventually I'll probably do another one of these vlogs where I eventually get to the top. We'll see. So I might take a couple weeks, but hopefully we'll be at the top of Mount Vaea. This big old tree, so it looks like it fell and they had cut it, but this tree reminds me of just a lot of the hikes in Washington State, where we come up on a lot of trees like this that are big like that are kind of blocking, but somebody carves a path so that people can still walk and go through. So this was definitely part of when I started realizing, man, I'm not making it to the top. And so I need to make a decision eventually, like, where am I going to turn around at? And so, yeah, I mean, like, it was cool walking in the shade, but every time I walked back out in the sun, it was brutal, and I was starting to get a little bit lightheaded. So I knew that if, to be honest, if the hike was only maybe like 10 or 15 minutes more to get to the top, I probably would have done it, but I had no idea. And so at that point, I was like, man, I need to turn around and so yeah, and I think this might be the last part where I'm going. I see, I can't even tell if I'm going up or down at this point, but at this point, I've already solidified in my head. I need to turn around, and instead of cutting the intro at the top, I need to find somewhere where, I eventually found that shaded spot, so it was all good. But yeah, it was, no, I mean, maybe I'll complete it on another day where I actually get to the top of Mount Vaea. But no, it was cool. This was cool. I was glad. And so crazily enough, that story I told where I ran into the dude with the rifle and the 3 dogs. Well, I saw him coming on the way down. So I'm coming on the way down here, as you can see. Yeah, so I passed him and I was like, oh, let me take a quick shot of him. OG, I think he was wearing jeans too. OG, he looked like he was 60. And then, but yeah, thanks for watching. Catch you guys on the next one.